Hello everyone, welcome back to my GH Spoiler channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Sidwell's dinner party ends in tragedy. 2 dead. General Hospital, full episode recap, March 13th, 2026. Port Charles. Nobody expected the evening to end in bloodshed. What started as an elegant dinner party at the Sidwell estate turned into the most devastating night Port Charles has seen in years. 2 people are dead, friendships are shattered, and the truth, when it finally surfaces, will leave you absolutely breathless. The calm before the storm. Viewers who were paying attention noticed it early. When the sommelier poured the first round of wine, Dr. Sidwell subtly switched 2 glasses before handing them to his server. It was barely a flicker, a 2-second sleight of hand, but the cameras caught it. Fan forums exploded within minutes of the East Coast airing. "He poisoned the wine. He absolutely poisoned the wine," the posts read. They were half right. By the time the first course arrived, Reginald Ashworth, the aging Port Charles socialite who had been blackmailing Sidwell for the past 3 episodes, began to look pale. He loosened his tie. He reached for water. He laughed off the concerned looks from Monica seated across from him. He would not make it to dessert. The scene in which Reginald slumped forward into his soup was filmed with an almost cruel elegance, the string quartet in the corner still playing, candlelight still flickering, Ava Jerome's eyes going sharp and cold as she watched from the far end of the table and said absolutely nothing, just lifted her wine glass and took a long, slow sip. "Call 911, call General Hospital, now!" Chaos erupted in the dining room as Harrison Sidwell, displaying his most convincing performance of concern yet, rushed to Reginald's side and began performing CPR on the marble floor, while Brooke Lynn screamed for someone to call 911. Monica, veteran of 1,000 General Hospital emergencies, was already on the phone with the ER. But here's where the episode pivoted into something truly jaw-dropping. As paramedics arrived and attention focused entirely on Reginald, a second figure collapsed, quietly, almost privately, in the hallway just outside the dining room. Theodore Vance, Sidwell's own business attorney and closest confidant, had slipped away from the table minutes earlier, complaining of a headache. He was found face down on the marble corridor floor by Willow, who had stepped out to take a call from Wiley. Theodore was already gone. The look on Willow's face, wide-eyed, frozen, hand pressed to her mouth as the camera pulled back to reveal the body, was one of the most genuinely haunting images the show has produced this season. No music, no dramatic sting, just silence and the sound of the string quartet drifting faintly from the dining room. Ava Jerome knows something. If there was a single performance that dominated this episode, it belonged to Mara West. Ava spent the back half of the hour doing what she does best, observing, calculating. She pulled Harrison Sidwell aside while paramedics swarmed the estate and asked him, quietly, pleasantly, with that velvet threat in her voice, was this the plan or did something go wrong? Sidwell said nothing, which in Port Charles is the loudest possible answer. Ava's final scene of the episode showed her in the kitchen, away from the police now flooding the estate, photographing something on the counter with her phone before slipping it into her clutch and walking calmly back out to give her statement to the detective. We don't know what she photographed. We don't know who she's protecting or threatening. What we do know is that Ava Jerome never takes out her phone unless she intends to use what's on it. Michael and Willow, the fracture widens. Amid the horror of the evening, the episode found time to deepen the growing crack in Michael and Willow's marriage. When Michael arrived at the estate after receiving Willow's frantic call, his first instinct was not to comfort her, it was to call Sonny. Willow watched him step away to make that call, and the look she gave his back was devastating. Not anger, something worse, resignation. Later, in the ambulance bay outside General Hospital, as both victims were brought in, Michael told Willow, "This is exactly why I said we shouldn't have gone." She turned to him and said, quietly, "You're already making this about being right." And then she walked inside without him. Short scene, maximum damage. The diagnosis that changes everything. Back at General Hospital, the medical team, led by a visibly shaken Dr. Elizabeth Weber Baldwin, worked to establish cause of death for Theodore Vance, while Reginald was stabilized in a trauma bay. The tox screen results, which came back with suspicious speed, it's a soap after all, revealed a rare compound, a synthetic cardiac inhibitor not available in the United States, not through any legal channel anyway. Elizabeth, holding the results, looked up and said one sentence that landed like a thunderclap. "Someone in this hospital has access to this drug. This didn't come from outside Port Charles." Cut to black. What comes next? Reginald is alive, barely, and with significant cardiac damage that will almost certainly lead to a longer storyline about his recovery and what he knows. Theodore Vance is dead, and with him, whatever attorney-client secrets he was keeping for Harrison Sidwell. Ava has photographs of something. Elizabeth has a compound that points to an inside job. And Harrison Sidwell walked out of the Sidwell estate tonight without being arrested. Calm, measured, and already, no doubt, planning his next move. Port Charles has seen dinner parties go wrong before, but this one feels different. This one feels like the beginning of something that will tear the canvas apart. 2 people went down at Sidwell's table. The question now is, who at that table already knew it was coming?